Shakriya, and I come from a small outlet called Gourmet World. And what we are doing here today is we are going to do a few recipes that incorporate a very famous soy sauce company from Japan. I think it's one of the best and one of the oldest soy sauce companies from Japan called Kikoman. So we are doing a small sushi demonstration also, whereby you will learn how to make probably a few types of sushis and learn more about it, plus other recipes which like day-to-day recipes where we will incorporate Kikoman soy sauce, okay, instead of salt. Now soy sauce as an ingredient, how many people know and how do you use it? Soy sauce for very simple recipes, okay, which you can make at home. So, you know, for a snack, for a salad, for a pie, for things like that. And it's just not soy sauce that we are doing today. We are also doing Kikoman teriyaki sauce. Now, teriyaki is a slightly sweet, slightly thick sauce that is used for stir fries, for even marination. It's on the sweeter side. It's like a Japanese barbecue sauce. So, to start off with, how many people know what sushi is? Have you heard about sushi? Have you seen sushi? Have you eaten it? No? No idea, absolutely? Okay. Sushi is this Japanese delicacy. It is usually served cold and it incorporates rice to which vinegar has been added. Okay? It's always sticky rice that's used. It's not the regular Indian rice or anything, but it's sticky rice which is cooked in a particular way, and you add rice vinegar to it to give it seasoning. One, that is, it gives it the flavor, and two, what does the rice vinegar do is it increases the shelf life. Now shelf life means, like, what I mean by shelf life is like a rice that stays for 1 day, instead of 1 day it will stay for 2 days. Okay? So that's the shelf life. Now in order to, you get Japanese raw rice, you get sticky rice in the raw form, but if you have a rice cooker or if you have a pan, you know, a heavy cotton pan, you can cook it. Like for 1 kg of raw rice, it's all written in the recipe book. So if you just go along with me, then you'll understand. Okay? For 1 kg of raw rice, you need about 1,300 ml of water. So first you wash the rice, drain it, and then you soak it in 1,300 ml of water for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? Once that is done, you take a heavy bottom pot, you know, a heavy bottom pot with a lid that fits in very well. So you put that, and then you put it on a high flame, or if you have an induction, on a high temperature, and let it come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, let it boil for about 5 seconds. You stir it. Once you stir it, then you place the lid on it. Make sure that the lid is tight. It's almost like a dum biryani that happens. You know, you put the atta, but instead of the atta, the lid has to be tight. Okay? So once you put the lid, reduce the flame to the lowest possible temperature and let it cook like that for 9 minutes exactly. It's very precise. It's 9 minutes. So either you have a timer or you focus on your water, whatever. So cook it for 9 minutes. Then what you do is just remove the whole thing. Do not remove the lid. But remove the whole thing and keep it aside for another 15 minutes for it to steam. If you remove the lid, the steam will all evaporate. Okay? And it won't cook. The rice will still be raw. So in order to make the rice nice and perfect, and it needs to swell up. So what you do, you take the whole thing and put it aside and let it be like that for 15 minutes again. And then it's ready to use. Either you can have it just like that, like steamed rice, or while it's It's a kind of plant that grows under the sea, and it's processed for almost 2 years before it comes to this form. Okay? This is roasted, this is pressed and dried. The next ingredient that is like we use a sushi mat to make the rolls. Now if you see that I'm using a sushi mat which has a plastic cover on it. Why? Because the rice being sticky, it goes into the grooves and usually it gets fungus and stuff. So just make sure that you cling wrap it, and after using it, take out the cling wrap, wash and let it dry properly, and then you store it. Okay? So that's a sushi mat. Now sushi is had with 3 accompaniments. The first and the foremost is soy sauce. The Picamon soy sauce has made the best one that you can have it with. Always buy the old water soy seasoning. So this brings out the flavor of the ingredients in the sushi. Okay. The next is wasabi or grated horseradish. This is extremely pungent. So when you're having it, be very careful. It'll just hit you. It hits you very fast, but it just dies down in 2 seconds. So there's no need of having more than that. The third ingredient is gari or pickled ginger. Now pickled ginger helps to cleanse off your palate. So in between different courses of seafood that usually is served with, like in form of sushi, you take a bite of pickled ginger so that your palate is clean and you enjoy the next fish as it goes itself. Okay? So when you're making sushi, there is a few, like, you need to have a setup. One is a nice clean chopping board. 2 is an extremely sharp knife. Okay? 3 is a sushi mat. 4 is your rice, which I like it at room temperature, like it should be slightly warm to touch. Okay? 5 is a bowl of water to which vinegar has been added. Now if you notice, I'm using bare hands to make sushi. Most of the places, except for maybe US and stuff, but in Japan as well, they always use bare hands. But what the trick is that they always add vinegar to the water. The vinegar acts as a natural sanitizer. So what I do is, instead of throwing this water off, the vinegar off, I add it to the water. So it gets neutralized. Next is a duster, a moist duster to wipe off your knife every time you make a cut. Because rice being sticky adds on to the edges and it gives an uneven cut otherwise. So that's that. So you have all your ingredients ready. So today what I'm going to make is cucumber hosomaki. Hosomaki are thin rolls where the seaweed, as I said, the nori is outside. And the second is asparagus, cheese and bell pepper uramaki, where the rice is outside and the seaweed is inside. So if you see, this is an entire sheet. This is a whole sheet. There are 2 sides to a nori sheet. One is a rough side and the other is a shiny and the smooth side. So while making a sushi roll, now always remember that sushi is a finger food. 1, 2, it has to be bite size. It has to go into your mouth as a whole, and not, you don't have to bite into 3. You can't have it into 3 bites. So always while making sushi, keep that in mind. That's the first and the foremost rule. Okay? So what I do is, if you have noticed that there are these lines that runs along the nori sheet, just fold it along that and cut it into half. Okay? Now for the hosomaki, we use the rough side should be facing you and the shiny side should be below. Okay? So the next thing that you do is moisten your hands because the rice is too sticky, otherwise it will stick onto your hands. Measure some rice onto your palm. This you get a hang of it once you start making sushi very frequently, how much rice you use. Then place it slightly below the center of the nori. Okay? Then start from one end of the nori sheet to the other. Moistening your hand as you go. Don't keep it dry or the rice will stick. You need to leave about a finger's gap from top. the Japanese cucumber looks similar. The skin being slightly more thicker and it has ridges on its skin. So you need to place this. Now you take your knife, you need to moisten the edge so that the rice does not stick. Make a cut through the center, get both the edges together. You can trim off the edges, but it's not really required. If the cutting is all even, it's not really required. Again, moisten your knife. Make a cut again. Wipe the knife off. That's very important. Okay, always keep your knife clean. Make a cut again. So if you notice that I've started cutting right from the center and then dividing it as it goes. are blanched asparagus. Line them up in a proper way. Probably if you need to trim, you can trim a little. These are some bell pepper batons or strips. Because I'm already using green, I'm opting for the other two colors. Placement of the ingredients is also very important, to get a neat look at it. So again, you lift up the mat, you hold on to the ingredients in the center and make your first fold. Make sure that the first fold is tight enough. Okay? See that? Now you move ahead. So it's basically 1, 2, 3. To your thumb, your last 3 fingers and then your 4th finger. Press once in the center, once on the side. Go ahead, press once in the center, once on the side. Your roll is ready. The same procedure, moisten your knife, cut through the center. So that's your uramaki. Ura literally can translate into Urla. This is the traditional type of sushi roll that's made in Japan. This is a more Americanized version. People outside Japan, they love this one because they don't like to see the seaweed as much. Yeah? So we'll be giving you a small tasting of what sushi is. Okay? We'll be doing, this is cucumber and pickled plum with all the accompaniments. So you have the soy sauce, you have a little bit of wasabi, and you have a little bit of everybody. Pick up the just the sushi roll and just put the whole thing in your mouth out of it. And then bite into soy sauce the entirely natural way. It takes 8 months or more to scratch. And they use things like soybeans, wheat, salt, and some type of mold or mold mixture for food. The best part about this is that there are no chemicals or no kind of additives that are used, to make this product. Okay, the next thing that I'll be making is the user dressing, almost like a lime, and so I'll be using regular lime juice. I'm not using yuzu juice. But I'm using another ingredient called yuzu pepper, which is the Japanese lime plus jalapeno. So it's made in the form of a paste. It's on the lines of slightly being spicy, slightly tangy, and things like that. To start off with, I'm using the juice of 2 limes, oil, salad oil, soy sauce, yuzu pepper. This is optional. You want it, you don't want to put it. You can use a little bit of green Tabasco if you want, and some pepper powder. You can use a whisk to do this. I would ideally use chopsticks. That's it. It's a very simple, very simple recipe. And it tastes amazing with salads. If you want, you can cut down on the amount of oil. But at the end of the day, it's the amount of dressing that we're using on the salad, and not the salad dressing itself. And that's it. The next one is Caesar salad. Okay, now usually Caesar salad, the only thing that we are doing is trying to use the coconut soy sauce instead of salt, because this soy sauce has much more health benefits than just plain salt. So for this, I'm using vegetarian mayonnaise. I'll make the dressing first and then toss the salad in it. Some lime juice. Parmesan. I'll use half of it first and the rest I'll use as garnish. Some pepper. Salt. Tikka soy sauce. This is some romaine lettuce, which I'm going to just already soaked in chilled water for about 20 minutes and then refreshed and then strained out. It's called variety of lettuce. Just break them into bite-sized pieces. Just mix them a little so that the dressing coats onto the leaves. All you need to do is add some fried croutons on top. These are normal bread cut into squares and then deep fried. So croutons. The properly. So take that. So wash your hand. It's not never washing. Okay? Wash your hand. Take rice, measure rice. It's not moist. A little bit. A little bit. Okay. So now. Yes. No, no, no. It's just about measuring it. Hold on, brother. Just get it into those wash. No press, just roll. It is on the tool. Roll. Now do that. Then I'll show you. Do that. The next is basically you have to spread the whole thing onto the sheet, okay? Make a uniform there. A little more less, a little more less. That's about it. Yeah. That's it. Make a uniform there. Next step is sesame. So, those two sesame seeds. Nice. Flip it over. So lift it from one side. Cheese. Use the back of the spoon. It's easy to practice but keep on going. This also. Lift this up. Lift it up. Hold on to that baby. Hold it like this. And lift the first hold. That's it. First. Lift it up again. Roll it forward. Yes. The second fold. There's like 1, 2, 3. Let's not make 2. Second fold. Now lift it again. See, there's still a lot to go. Third fold. Can she get a hand out of close, please? Get this. See, because this thing is jutting out. Now check this. No? Yes. Yes. Just like that. Hold. How is it? Hold. Not like that. Hold it like this. Yes. Just hold back your hand. Okay. Put the left side facing top. Start taking your rice. Start off with middle, then you can go on. Okay? Leave about that much gap from top. But okay. Start spreading. Next thing is to spread it out. See? Make sure that it's really warm. Here it says a little more rice. So that's a little more. Hold on to the ingredient. Hold it tight. Both put your hands together. Together. One. Yeah. See, I'm not putting any pressure on this one. Right.